Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. Here's what we have in the bulletin. Indicom probing fatal police shooting in St. Catherine. Jamaica records decline in murders in 2024. And later in sports, Nikita Miller added to West Indies coaching staff as replacement for Rayon Griffin. Thanks for joining us. I'm Sandy Williams. Here are the details. The Independent Commission of Investigations, Indicom, is probing the circumstances surrounding the fatal shooting of a man in Lake Spence in Catherine. It's understood the man was shot and killed following an alleged confrontation with the police this morning. The deceased has been identified as 23-year-old Richard Thomas, a laborer of Lake Spence District. We'll have more details in primetime news this evening at 7. The country ended 2024 with 1,139 murders, a reduction of 265 when compared with the previous year. The data from the Ministry of National Security says this represents a 19% decline in homicides. The ministry says 73 murders were recorded in December, the lowest monthly count since September 2014. In the meantime, National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang has extended commendations to the JCF for what he says was their exceptional performance last year, which resulted in a significant reduction in the national crime statistics and one of the safest Christmas seasons the nation has experienced in decades. Minister Chang says the government remains steadfast in its commitment to advancing its strategic investment in the police force, empowering the officers to build on their success and achieve even greater reductions in murder for 2025. A man has been arrested in connection with the seizure of an illegal gun and several rounds of ammunition in St. Mary. This following a major joint operation in the Paget area in the parish. More in this report. It's only the second day of 2025 and already the St. Mary police are making waves in their mission to clamp down on crime. Collaborating with key allies like counterterrorism and organized crime, the Public Safety and Traffic Enforcement Branch, and the Jamaica Defense Force, the division zeroed in on the Paget area, long considered a major crime hotspot. The lawmen say their efforts paid off, uncovering threats to public safety.
This operation is in continuation of our relentless pursuit of the drivers of violence in the St. Mary Division. This morning, as part of this operation, we recovered one 9mm pistol and 7 rounds of ammunition. This operation is ongoing as we speak.
In the wake of the operation, one man has been arrested and investigations are ongoing to uncover the depth of criminal activities. Head of the St. Mary Police, Acting Superintendent Anthony Wallace, confirmed the operation's success, acknowledging that Paget and Frontier have been persistent challenges for law enforcement.
Based on our intelligence, we're having some issues within that area, and as such, as part of our strategic approach to ensure that we keep the parish safe and to deter and deny criminals the freedom of movement and freedom of action, ends this major operation within that area.
With plans to extend operations across the parish, the lawmen are sending a clear message. Criminal elements have no place in St. Mary. Despite a reduction in road fatalities in 2024, the authorities are this afternoon making yet another appeal to motorists. The National Road Safety Council, NRSC, wants more focus to be placed on some of the crash hotspots, which has resulted in multiple fatal crashes.
Road fatalities declined by 14% in 2024. While the authorities have welcomed the reduction, Police Commissioner Dr. Kevin Blake remains concerned.
Notwithstanding this achievement, we remain intolerant of the high numbers that persist. We continue our work to drive it down. These lives lost could have been prevented.
According to data from the Island Traffic Authority, motorcyclists accounted for 33% of the road users killed, pedestrians accounted for 19%, while private motor vehicle drivers accounted for 18%. In addition, 4 parishes recorded 53% of the fatalities, St. Catherine accounting for 17%, Westmoreland 16%, while St. Andrew and St. Anne accounted for 10% each.
And road safety is a shared responsibility, and much of what is required to reduce fatal crashes rests with road users themselves. Responsible behavior, adherence to traffic laws, and compliance with road safety principles can and will save lives.
For his part, Vice Chairman of the National Road Safety Council, Dr. Lucian Jones, commended the police for their efforts last year.
And I think people are beginning to understand that there are no consequences for bad behavior, for doing what is contrary to the law on the roads. So that's making a difference.
Meanwhile, Dr. Jones is hopeful that the numbers will continue to decline this year. However, he insists addressing the multiple road fatalities is critical.
To the extent that we can prevent this kind of multiple fatality injuries, then we can make a big difference. And that depends a lot on police enforcement, the use of the breathalyzer, the public education, and all the different levers that we can pull to get people to drive more safely.
Amoy Harriet, TVJ News.
To a TVJ News follow-up now, one of the 5 people injured in a 2-vehicle collision in St. Thomas has died. The driver, identified as Gregory Thompson, aka Otis, suffered severe chest and head injuries, passed away yesterday. The crash occurred shortly after 3 p.m. last Thursday when a red Mazda swerved into the path of a white Toyota Probox. All 4 persons in the Probox were treated and released. The police report states the Mazda driver, returning from a medical procedure in Kingston, fell asleep at the wheel. A dispute is brewing over who is responsible for repairs to a section of the Port Morant to Harbour Head Road in St. Thomas. The issue arose after a video emerged with Eastern St. Thomas MP Dr. Michelle Charles touring the area. However, Councillor for the Port Morant Division, Dinsdale Smith, says he is responsible for the repairs.
I was made aware yesterday of a TikTok video making the rounds on social media about some work done here in the Port Morant Division on Harbour Head Road, where the Member of Parliament for St. Thomas Eastern was giving credit, saying the work was done by check and that it's a part of the REACH program, when it's an absolute, should I say lie, it's untruth.
Contacted, Dr. Charles clarified that the road repairs are the responsibility of the National Works Agency and contractors China Harbour and not the MP or councillor. Residents of Galena in St. Mary are calling on the relevant authorities to remove or reinforce a sign that is posing a threat to properties and lives. Nakinski Robinson reports.
A towering billboard pole, barely standing under the weight of a massive advertisement, has become an unexpected hazard for commuters in Galena St. Mary. Instead of drawing attention to the added displays, the tilted structure has turned into a spectacle of danger, causing alarm among passers-by.
I think the best thing they could straighten it up, fix it up, and that you don't fall on nobody. Because the other day I was notice it, say you can't fall on anybody and damage anybody. Because you cannot walk on it, fall on you. So the best thing would ask the people them to straighten it up back.
I have a lot of kids pass here who go to school, so it can be very difficult. It's dangerous. It needed to fix. You can't see like that.
The people are calling on the authorities to take swift action before the looming disaster becomes a reality. Calls are mounting for the relevant agencies to step in and either repair the damaged structure or remove it altogether to prevent any potential injuries.
Come and get it repaired or change it out so that we can walk it safe. We don't have to walk and fret because we have our children going to school and we have to worry when they have to pass this post. It is dangerous. So somebody need to come and get it rectified.
Fitzroy Williams is the mayor of Port Maria.
Checks made at the municipal corporation revealed that this sign was not an approved sign by the municipal corporation. No permission was granted for the erection of this sign. The procedure is they would normally apply to the municipal corporation, be it that this is a NWA road, main road. So we would seek guidance from the NWA as to where is suitable to affix these signs. None of that was done. Now that it was brought to my attention, I have done the necessary investigation. The instruction was given to have that sign removed.
Nakinski Robinson, TVJ News.
It's time for a break, but stay with us. When we come back, we'll have the Business Minute and news from overseas. Welcome back to the Midday News and thanks for staying with us. It's now time for the Business Minute. Here's Halshane Burke.
The Statistical Institute of Jamaica is confirming that the transport, storage, communications and the financial sectors were the only ones that recorded growth during the third quarter of 2024 when compared with a similar period in 2023. The output of the transport, storage and the communications sector increased by 2.5%, while the finance and insurance services sector climbed by 0.8%. The output of all other sectors declined during the period. TikTok has been fined $10 million by Venezuela's Supreme Court. The social media app is accused of failing to control the spread of viral challenges that have allegedly led to the deaths of 3 children in the country. TikTok was given 8 days to pay the fine, according to Monday's court ruling. The court said the money would be used to create a special fund to compensate the victims of the viral challenges. The court did not specify the consequences TikTok would face if it does not pay the fine. And that's it for the Business Minute. I'm Halshane Burke.
Antonia Atkinson has the top regional and international stories.
In the region, President of Guyana Dr. Irvin Ali expressed concern over the rise of crime in the Caribbean, pointing to the current state of emergency in Trinidad and Tobago. He noted that as criminals face pressure in one area, they will seek new territories. This, he believes, will affect the entire Caribbean region. It's why he's emphasizing the need for improved immigration controls and advanced technology to track criminals and prevent their movement across borders. On the international scene, 10 people were wounded in a shooting outside a Missouri nightclub in Jamaica, Queens on Wednesday night. Reports are around 11:15 p.m. A group of 15 people aged 16 to 20 were waiting to enter a private event when 4 men approached and opened fire. It's estimated they fired about 30 rounds before fleeing in a sedan with an out-of-state license plate. 6 women and 4 men were hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries. The motive remains unclear. And those are the top regional and international stories. I'm Antonia Atkinson, TVJ News.
And now we head to a quick break, but stay tuned. The Midday Sports Report when we return. Welcome back. It's now time for your Midday Sports Report.
TVJ Sports can confirm that former Jamaica captain Nikita Miller is set to have his first coaching stint at the international level, as he will travel with the West Indies team as an assistant to Andre Kohli for the tour of Pakistan this month. Miller, who played 1 test and 59 limited overs games for the West Indies, will replace Guyanese Ryan Griffith as assistant coach for the trip. It's understood that members of the West Indies setup were pleased with the work done by Miller with the spin bowlers during the West Indies test against Bangladesh at Sabina Park at the end of November. The 42-year-old has held various coaching positions since his retirement in 2019, including assistant to Andrew Richards with the Jamaica Scorpions before his contract ended in September last year. The left-arm spinner is currently the lead pathways coach with the Jamaica Cricket Association and has been a part of the Trinbago Knight Riders coaching staff for several years. The West Indies will tour Pakistan for a test series for the first time in 18 years from January 17 to 29 at the Moulton Cricket Stadium. Griffiths was listed as one of 3 assistant coaches for the Pakistan tour, with his responsibility being fielding. James Franklin for bowling and Jimmy Adams for batting are the other assistant coaches. The series will be the last for the West Indies in the current World Test Championship cycle and is also said to be the final one for Jamaican Kohli as head coach of the Test team, with Darren Sammy to become the all-format coach. Rohit Sharma's days as captain of India's Test team look to be numbered as rumours have emerged of a rift with head coach Gautam Gambhir ahead of the 5th Test against Australia in Sydney this evening. Speculation started swirling on Thursday about Sharma's possible omission from the final Test after he did not show for the pre-match press conference. Gambhir, who did the presser, was asked about Sharma's absence.
Everything is fine with Rohit, and I don't think so it's anything traditional. I think the head coach is there. That should be fine. That should be good enough. And we're going to have a look at the wicket and finalize it tomorrow.
Gambhir also stayed away from providing a direct answer about concerns surrounding Sharma's form. Meanwhile, Australia have made a change to their playing 11 for the final game at the SCG, as they have dropped Mitchell Marsh and replaced him with all-rounder Bo Webster, who will be making his debut in Sydney. Finally, reggae boy Damari Gray could be headed back to England after telling Saudi Pro League club Al Ettifaq he wants to leave amid interest from Premier League team Fulham. According to reports, the Saudi club's coach Steven Gerrard is backing a sale at the right price for the Jamaican winger, and the club wants £5 million. 28-year-old Gray moved to Al Ettifaq from Everton last year for £8 million. Fulham held talks with Gray before he moved to Saudi Arabia, as manager Marco Silva is still keen. Gray has scored 7 goals in 20 appearances for the Reggae Boys, including notching a double in Jamaica's 4-2 defeat to the USA in their second-leg CONCACAF Nations League quarter-final match in November last year. And that's it for your Midday Sports. I'm Renata Brown.
Thanks, Renata. And that's the Midday News. I'm Sandy Williams. Join us again for Primetime News this evening at 7. On behalf of the news, sports, and production teams, good afternoon.